Alright folks, Michael, Vintage Diesel Equipment Service. Welcome back. If it's your first time, welcome. Behind me is a John Deere 5420. And this thing needs a clutch. Yep, it don't want to go. It's getting weak. And it's having a dash instrument issue that we're also going to check out while we're at it. But before we do, why don't you click that like, maybe the subscribe button. Just saying, it'd help us. All right, let's get this thing inside and we'll get it apart. Here we go. All right, everybody, so I went to crank this thing up and move it, and I had been told that we were going to have to put a starter ring on it, which he's already purchased. But before that, look at this. Huh? Are we bolted on by Wi-Fi? Or is this a Bluetooth bolt? Is it invisible? Look at that. Look at that gap right there. That's the only bolt holding it in right there. It's about to check out. All right, so I guess we're going to be pushing this thing in by hand. So here we go. All right, folks. So I'm sorry I'm not getting to do this one as I usually would. So you're not going to get to see as much. But on this particular job, we're doing it at a person's residence, and well, some discretion is needed. So with that said, we've already got our hood off. We've already disconnected all of our electrical. We've disconnected our plumbing to our hydraulics and our fuel. And if you notice, we've already unbolted this dude, and it's starting to come apart already. So, oh, look at that starter bolt. Well, I'd tell you to look at it if it was there. So there's that. Oh, and I have another jewel to show you. I don't know how many clamps are too many clamps, but that is almost a work of art. Come on. So with that said, we've already got our linkages for our throttle disconnected. All of our hydraulic lines are disconnected also. Our jacks are jacked up. You can already see the daylight through the bell housing because we got it unbolted. There's two bolts up on top. You can see where it's shining there on that one, and then there's another one on the other side. So you got those two. You got two at the bottom, by the way. And then you got two on each side. Okay, after that, you should be able to roll the back away. With that said, we're gonna roll the back away. So I'll show you what it looks like after that. All right, equipment fans. So, remember our loose starter with the Wi-Fi bolt? See that? Yeah, that's where it was. It's supposed to be there. Yeah, it's supposed to be bolted on right there. See where it's just chewed it away? Yeah. That is insane. And as you can see, look at the missing teeth up here on the flywheel. Can you see it? Right through there. Several. And if you look, the starter, look at the engagement. See if I can hold it still. Look at that. I don't know what to say. I mean, that's the worst I've ever seen. That's crazy. He needs a starter. Goodness, good, and a starter bolt. Anyway. All right, folks. Sorry. Almost impossible to see me there. All right, so Yeah, after you got the tractor split. And by the way, I'm sorry I haven't been able to film as much of this as I typically would, but again, I do this mobile, and some people would prefer that their, you know, place isn't really filmed, and I honor that. So with that said, I apologize to y'all. There'll be not quite as much filmed. However, there'll be some. I'm gonna show you some goodies. With that said, after you get your tractor split, I recommend you spray brake cleaner around that area real good, and use your pick and a blue paper towel and scribe around your line real good while you're changing your throwout bearing. You do that, by the way, so that you can see if you have any leaks there, because if there's any, you're gonna know about it. And then you go ahead and take care of your throwout bearing. And let me explain this, okay? As you can see, you got two levers, two bars going across, okay? I'm sorry I don't have good light for this. Your first bar, the front bar towards the engine, you're gonna take out these 3 bolts. You're going to disconnect the cable from your lever, okay? And then you're gonna slide your lever out. And then, you know, needless to say, this will slide forward. As you can see, both of them working there. This will slide forward at that point, and you can get that part out of your way. And then you're gonna take the 3 bolts out of the second one, but you don't pull the bar, okay? Or actually, you don't even have to take the 3 bolts out. What am I saying? You just pull all this forward enough, and those dog legs will let loose, and you can slide your throwout bearing assembly out. And then you're gonna have to use you a press, okay? And press off the old and press on the new. I'm sorry I wasn't able to film all of that, okay? But needless to say, either you're gonna need a press or you're gonna be going to a machine shop. All right, and then after you have all of this taken care of and everything cleaned out really well, because as you remember, our starter, well, there was shavings all through, so we had to clean out both sides exceptionally well to get rid of that. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is put in a new pilot bearing, of which I've already done, okay? In our case, it was a Proformer, okay? If you're curious of that part number, there it is. And as you can see, we've put on a new ring gear. Our other ring gear was missing teeth. So that process is actually not too bad, okay? You're gonna take your torch setup, you're gonna heat that ring up until it expands enough that you can just raise it off with a pair of channel locks or something, okay? And then to put it on, just lay it up here into place and start heating it. You can see where it's been heated. You just start heating that ring and it'll slowly slide down into place. And then what I like to do is take the edge of a hammer like this and just kind of tap around just to make sure you got a solid seat all the way around, and then let that baby cool. And then, if y'all remember earlier in the video when we pulled the clutch pack off, I told you that dude needed, it really needed to be cleaned up. So we took that to the machine shop and had them turn that. As you can see, that surface is, well, exceptional now. And that's what we're ready for. We're fixing to bolt our flywheel back into place and then set up our clutch pack. And I'm gonna try and show you that here in just a moment and show you what this tool's for. But here, I bet I can give you a guess. Okay, see that? So with that said, let's get set up and see what we can do to get finished. All right. Okay, everybody, after you get your flywheel mounted, you might want to take some time, because if you'll notice, there's extra holes in this. So you might want to take some time and figure out your orientation for your dowel pin. And have a couple bolts ready. Probably the top and bottom would be the best. That way it kind of holds it into spot while you get the rest whirled in there and you hit it with impact. So with that said, this gentleman's going to spray it with the brake cleaner. You can go ahead and do that now. And then we'll come back with a blue shop towel and we'll give it a little gentle wipe. See, that right there is why. Because there's already so much residue still. There you go, that ought to be good. We'll just wipe it with a shop towel. You do that so that you're giving that PTO clutch the very best chance in mating whenever it first runs, okay? It's smart to do it, okay? All right, we're gonna go ahead and, I guess I should explain this. All right, so this is our old clutch and pressure plate pack. That's the old PTO clutch. That is a shiny new crate. And right over here is a shiny new PTO clutch. And inside that crate, let me get this out. All right. Brand new PTO clutch, okay? Try your best not to get any grease on it. If you can. But you're gonna put oh, that's why I was walking over here. You're essentially gonna put this there, okay? Right there against the flywheel. And then you're gonna take your new clutch and pressure plate pack and it's gonna bolt down over that. But I'm gonna show you how to align that properly. Because if you don't align that with an alignment tool and you try to slide those two sections together, you're never gonna get that shaft to slide in there, ever. I'm just telling you. So give me a moment, get set up, and I'll show you how to do this. Okay, we are back. And with that said, you're gonna wind up with a tool similar to this, okay? It's got all your screw-on tips for different bearing sizes. However, it's a universal tool, so it might not have just what you need. But with that said, just take you some electrical tape, okay? Put too much on it and then work your way down until you know it'll slide in and out of your bearing. That's simple. It's just that simple. Now we're gonna go right over here, and this is how this works. You see, you got your two on this particular. You got two different clutches. Okay, you got your PTO clutch, and then you have your primary clutch that handles your transmission. Okay, so how you're going to use this universal, I'm going to try my best. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my help to hold this. What you're going to do is take your universal tool and pull your pilot all the way to the back, okay? And get your tool in. And once you know that your tool is actually all the way, see how it finally popped in there? Once you know you're all the way in your pilot bearing, and you can kind of feel it, you can feel the bearing turning now. Slide your pilot chase up in here, okay? Let me show you. Take your little screwdriver, okay? And if you slide it up in here, now maybe I can show you this way. Right down in there, you can now see that pilot is now slid right up against that PTO to the snout of that PTO clutch, okay? And not only that, but if you look here, you've still got engagement at your primary clutch. So there's still enough there, even though you don't have a splined alignment tool, there's still enough engagement there that if you'll notice, it's all true, it's centered. So all you have to do now is tighten your bolts up around it and pull your tool out. Your clutch is aligned. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and do that now. All right, so now I'm just gonna run around and snug everything down. Excellent, and now we should just be able to pull our tool out. And you don't really have a good view because of lighting, but from what I can see, that should be straight enough to get our input shafts to slide right in there, okay? And that's the whole point of it, is to be able to get the snout of this input shaft to slide right up in there, okay? So with that being said, let's see what we can do. A little helpful hint, I didn't think to tell my help, and I really didn't think about it at the time, but you should have your starter off, okay? That way, as you're trying to spline, you're spline through your clutch packs, okay? If they don't line up just right and you're having a hard time getting things together, what you need to do is bar your motor over a little bit until these spline, and then it'll all roll together pretty easy, okay? So just a little something to keep in mind of if you're having trouble whenever you're putting it together and it just won't quite go. Rotate the motor a little bit, okay? All right. All right, folks. So, yep. And you're like, what's going on? Well, let me explain something. This is supposed to come preset, okay? What do I mean by that? I mean, these fingers should already be pre-calibrated out of the factory, and you shouldn't have to. So what gives, right? Well, just to verify, I bought a supposed tool from a certain colored tractor company. You know, I'm just saying, and I got my tractor back together and it didn't work. And guess what? John Deere, in their infinite wisdom, they don't give you an access hole. No. So that means there's no way to adjust it after it's together. Essentially, that's all you get. There's no adjustment on his clutches at all, okay? Other than maybe up at the pedal, which is like that much. Nowhere near what it should be. And what is it going to mean for you? That means you're going to need a tool. I'm not going to tell you the tool that I originally got because it's just going to confuse you. So instead, you're going to need maybe to be over here, or it'll be somewhere here. I'll try to put the image up, but it's going to be J as in John, D as in Deere, G as in green, 1375. You'll see it's called a finger gauge. You'll go, oh, cool, I'll just order that dude. It is currently April the 5th. Now, I tried to acquire this tool some 2 weeks ago. It took us some time to figure out a workaround. Don't worry, I'm getting you there. And when you go to try to get the tool, this is in 2024, by the way, it'll tell you that they will get you that tool in the first week of June. And you're like, oh, well, surely I can find it online. And everywhere you go, like Green Tractor and everywhere else, first week of June. Does that sound like planned proprietary tools that make sure that you, the rancher or farmer, can't actually get your tractor fixed? Huh? Well, come to find out, there's a workaround. You're gonna have to take your clutch pack. Make sure you take your PTO clutch with you. And your flywheel needs to be off, which you should have already resurfaced it, had it resurfaced, okay? So while you have that off, you gotta take it all to the John Deere house. You know that place that they won't sell you the tool until June? They got one for them. And you're gonna have to pay them to pre-configure these stupid fingers on this clutch pack. What an absolute annoyance. And then you can go bolt all this stuff back together and have your silly green tractor back. Okay? So coming up soon, we're gonna have us a discussion about the colors of tractors and the long-term cost of ownership and the difficulties that you may encumber. So with that said, if you would like to see that video, comment down below, okay? But we're gonna have that discussion pretty soon, because look, these farmers and ranchers don't know. They don't know to get in on the Right to Repair Act. So whenever it's stalled out here in the great state of Texas after the first round, no one went back and tried to keep fighting for it, because they don't know. Well, folks, y'all need the right to repair. All right? All right. So next, I've got to bolt my flywheel back to the block, use my alignment tool, get my clutch packs back in there, get everything realigned, and then we're going to do the tractor Jenga until it all goes back together like we're doing the hokey pokey. So we're not singing that song. I'm not getting a strike. Here we go. All right, folks. It's back together other than the hood. I've still got to put my hood back on. But other than my hood, I've got all that back together. We had us a leak. Had a hydraulic hose split, so I had to replace it. Nice, smooth, shiny hydraulic hose. So, alright. Let's see if it moves. There. She's got reverse. Oh, it feels good. Alright. Let's go for first. Alright. Feel like we got a little something we got to deal with though. Just noticed we got our hydraulic lines are reversed, so we'll have to fix that for our power steering. But that ain't a super big deal. Let's check our PTO clutch. Got it engaged, so let's go back here and see if we got some turny-turny. Woohoo! Looky there, folks. All right. All right, folks, other than cleaning up a big old mess in here and then getting our hydraulic lines reversed back around the direction they go for our power steering and putting our hood back on, let's get us all wrapped up on this one. I don't think you really need to see those boring old details anyway. So with that said, folks, before I off, don't forget to hit all them buttons down there. The subscribe, the like button, you know, maybe share it with your friends and your family. I'm just saying. What?
Did you say to hit that notification bell?
Oh. Christian is hollering notification bell. Don't forget it. Notification bell. All right, folks. Well, thanks so much for watching Vintage Diesel Equipment Service. Wait, you ain't seen lanky, tall, goofy Ethan lately. Look how tall he is. Look, and he's, well, yeah, he's goofy. All right. So, hey, Wade, here's Christian. He wants to see it. All right. There's his rugged good looks. All right. Folks, thanks for watching. We're going to see you in the next video. You might not want to see it after that. I don't know. But anyway, later, y'all.